Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Derek Austin. This is my channel. Thank you so much for showing up. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Before I get into the content, I'm doing a little contest to just promote the channel a little bit. First things first, trying to get to 100 subscribers, down around 30 something subscribers so far, and ultimately trying to get to 1,000. Every 100 subscribers, I'm gonna do a little raffle kind of thing, pick a video and pick a comment. The person does have to be a subscriber to the channel to win, and it will just be a $25 gift certificate to wherever or gift card to wherever you want. So it'll be random video, random comment. If they're a subscriber, they get the gift card. If not, we'll just redo it again. And then if it's not a subscriber, and do that for 200, 300, all the way up to 1,000. When we get to 1,000, it'll be a $100 gift certificate or gift card. Sorry, for for that type of thing. Really in a quest to get to 1,000, ultimately 1,000 subscribers. But right now, I'm trying to get to 100. We're trying to get to 50 first, actually. So anyway, today I want to talk about, and if you're new to the channel, talk about points, miles, rewards, credit cards in general, travel, also with redemptions and programs, all that type of thing. But travel, travel is always part of it. Also cash back and stuff like that too. But anyway, today I want to talk about my best redemption points or miles redemption ever. And I just did the math, and I got a whopping 15.7 cents per mile on this redemption. Go through it real quick. The redemption was 62,500 Alaska miles. Okay, Alaska miles. It was $90 for tax and fees. And when you do the math, it's just a little under 16 cents per point, per mile, per mile. So what is the redemption on Alaska miles? Okay, Alaska miles, it was flying on Cathay Pacific. The one great thing about Alaska miles is the program, they allow stopovers. I'm not talking about layovers, big difference. Layover is like you don't really want to go there, but you gotta stop there to get to your ultimate spot, right? Stopover is when you're going through, you get to stay there for as long as you want, and then you get the other leg whenever you want to actually go. So in this case, I was coming from Cape Town, South Africa. I was actually on a world trip, a 1 year world trip, gap year, just 2 years ago when I was 40 years, or 3 years ago when I was 40 years old, and I just quit my job, all that kind of thing, and traveling around the world with my wife. And yeah, we were in Cape Town at the time, and we wanted to go back over to Southeast Asia, and then eventually plan our trip back to the United States. So what we did, and we're going to East Coast, we're ultimately going to North Carolina, but they didn't. Cathay Pacific only goes to New York from there, so it was going from Cape Town, South Africa, going to Hong Kong. Getting to Hong Kong, we were that was one leg, and it was maybe a couple months after that we took the second leg over to New York. While there, we just traveled around Asia on different flights. Actually, I don't think any of them were Cathay Pacific after that. Just flying around, going to different places in Southeast Asia. Ultimately, getting back to Hong Kong in time to take that ticket where we finally ended our trip. So the first leg was, and this is all a business class flight, by the way. So business class, Cathay Pacific. Cathay Pacific, by the way, you do have to call in a redemption for if you're an American Airlines, or if you're doing it through Alaska Airlines, you do have to call. You do have to call. So it was amazing value, 15 cents per point, almost 16 cents per point. So the first leg, Cape Town, South Africa to Hong Kong, it was like I think it was over 10 hours, maybe 10 or 11, 12-hour flight, really long flight, amazing, lay flat. Cathay Pacific has an awesome product. So flew there, $62,500 each, by the way, and $90. So for the overall redemption for both legs, all right. So the first one was only $3,000. I remember looking at seeing. I was actually surprised it was only $3,000 for that flight, for like a 12-hour flight from Cape Town to Hong Kong, but it was. And then the second leg was a $7,000 flight from Hong Kong to New York. So it was awesome. You know, we took advantage of the stopover rule that Alaska Airline Miles has. They have a great partner in Cathay Pacific. It was really cool. We even got to go to the lounge in Hong Kong. They have an amazing, there's a couple great lounges. The Pier was our favorite. The business class lounge was amazing. So you got that on top of the flights. It was really, really cool. I also got to stay in the Centurion lounge there too, but you know, the Cathay Pacific ruled. It was really awesome. Though the Centurion Lounge was awesome there too. But anyway, let's get back to the redemption. So it was $3,000 from Cape Town to Hong Kong, which is a fantastic deal, I thought. Anyway, I think it was a newer flight, and then Hong Kong to New York was $7,000, total of $10,000 flight for $62,500 Alaska miles and $90. So amazing redemption. We did a couple long distance business class flights on that, on miles. It made our around the world trip amazing. We actually started with going from New York to India on American Airlines, on a similar thing, but it went through Hong Kong and then to India on a layover. So, but that was my best redemption ever, getting a $10,000 flight, between 15 and 16 cents per mile on Alaska Airlines miles. How you ask I got Alaska Airlines miles? I transferred from Marriott. Marriott had this amazing, and SPG had this amazing thing where they had, first of all, at the time they had a connection. You just transfer your SPG to 3 Marriott Marriott points at the time. But then Marriott had this thing where it's like 270,000 Marriott points transfer over. It was a hotels plus air collection, and you, for 270,000, I think that's what the number was. They don't have this, the whole program, the miles plus air is still there, but it's like not even close to being as good. I would get 7 category 5 Marriott hotels for 1 week. It was all one block, 1 week, which we could easily use when we're traveling around the world. And then, and actually stay in a good place. And then you would also get 100,000 Alaska miles or British miles, or a whole bunch of different types of miles that you could get. We chose Alaska because it was for this type of redemption. And yeah, that was my best miles or points redemption ever. And when we talk about Alaska miles, and maybe I'll review Alaska miles, I think Alaska miles, in my opinion, I think even on the points, guys, the highest rated airline mile in the industry is Alaska miles, and it really has to do with types of things that I did on that. You took advantage of the stopover, use a business class flight on like Cathay Pacific or Japan Airlines, some other ones too, but that is like how you really can take advantage of Alaska airline miles and get something like that, like 15, 16 cents per mile. So let me know in the comments below, what was your best redemption you've ever got on a hotel, airline, points, what was your best redemption value that you've ever gotten, or what was the one that was just like, it was your first time you've ever gotten to fly in business class or do this luxury stuff that maybe you couldn't afford. So yeah, give me comments below on stuff that was like a redemption that really stuck in your mind, or maybe the best one that you've ever gotten. So anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, we have that contest, but there's great content like this all the time, and I hope that start getting a good following. Already starting, but you know, it takes a lot to get a good YouTube channel going. But I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.